Here we are at Porthminster. St Ives is usually said to have 5 main beaches, but if you don't mind travelling a short way, there are actually 10 different beaches within 3 miles of the town. Either way, if you're looking for miles of golden sands, you're in the right area. Porthminster Beach here is nestled underneath Porthminster Point, with unbeatable, uninterrupted views to St Ives Harbour on one side and Godrevy Lighthouse on the other. Porthminster Beach is a blue flag beach, meaning it's one of the cleanest beaches in the southwest. You can reserve one of the beach pods if you're on holiday and need somewhere to store your bucket and spade or hide your pasty. And there's the jewel in the crown itself, which we'll be making our way around today. I think we might have just timed it about right for the tides. You can eat at the restaurant, which has great views of the beach. RNLI lifeguards patrol the beach between 10 and 6:30 from May to September, but we're now in October, so they've all retired for the winter. But when they are here, they'll always put out the flags to show you the safest areas to swim, which is pretty good because they're all volunteers. And dogs are banned from May the 15th to September the 30th. Odd dates, I know. Between the hours of 10 and 6. But dogs are welcome any other time. If you don't want to eat indoors at the cafe or restaurant, there are places outside where you can buy snacks and drinks. There's a cocktail and gin bar, shop for toys and ice creams, another ice cream stall there, and more sweeties. And then past here there's a barbecue kitchen, but it's not open today. But a nice place to sit out and eat. And we've got a mini golf course here, if you like whacking balls around. And we're lucky, we've got a few flowers are still out. And if you get caught short, there are some free toilets, which are a bit unusual this day and age. Nearly everybody wants to charge you a penny or 50p, so that's a plus. Nice place to sit and have your sandwiches if you want.
Do we have any sandwiches?
No, we don't have any sandwiches. Let's not have any sandwiches today. We need to lose weight anyway. Wow, look at that big seagull. That's a baby one on the edge. These are the steps up to the car park for the railway. So it's nice and easy if you want to travel by train. You can just step off the train and almost straight onto the beach. You just go along here. Good view of the beach from up here. You just see the little arch in the background where the train goes through. And just ponder for a sec. Here we are at Porthmeor. It's a popular hotel, has been for years. More steps up to town. It's got a good rooftop garden. You can eat your expensive steaks. And we're coming into the Warren. There's a lot of people out today. I suppose the weather's brought people out. Miss Gallery. Who's sorry now? Art gallery.
I'm so happy I could just. And my dad said, go on, finish it off. I said, oh, get the camera.
Nice. So we'll carry on down Lambeth Walk, coming into St Ives proper, and this is sometimes known as Lambeth Walk Beach. It's really still part of the Harbour Beach, but this part is dog friendly. They had steps down here, but they've closed them off because somebody fell down and hurt themselves. But you can see it's not the best place to run a dog, especially at high tide when there's virtually no sand left. You can get over the rocks, there's a little bit of sand this side, but that's one of the two dog-friendly beaches in the middle of summer. And here we are coming up to the back of the lifeboat station, and it's a nice church. And some more loos if you need them. Let's move on to Wharf Road. We're going to be brave and try and get onto the beach even though it looks a bit wet. Because why not? This is Harbour Beach. Is it a harbour? Is it a beach? It's both. It's still a working harbour, and on the far side there are fishing boats that come and go. But as you can see, most of it is pleasure craft. People without waterproof shoes on. Grateful for waterproof boots. There are one or two companies operating here who will take you on trips to Seal Island, Godrevy Lighthouse, or exciting rib rides. This is one of those just in front now. There's also a glass bottom boat, or boats for hire for fishing trips too. You couldn't be more central than being on Harbour Beach. There are shops, pubs, cafes and galleries that line the harbour wall, and running parallel with Wharf Road is 4th Street with its many little speciality shops too. The beach has stone piers on its south and east side which shelter it from the wind and strong currents, so it's ideal for relaxing or building sandcastles. These are the rib riders. We'll take you for a ride at sea at 45-degree angle if you want. I don't know if they actually work in this end of the year. Another one over there too. So this is the glass bottom boat. You don't normally get to see these, just because they're sitting on the sand. There's an awful lot of lobster pots up there on the pier. Smeaton's Pier on the eastern side was originally built in the 1760s, but then they lengthened it at the end of the 1800s when the lighthouse was added. Still a busy pier for the fishermen. Well, if you can see it, there's the town's lifeboat station, and when emergencies take place, the lifeboat is launched into the harbour, or if it's at low tide, it's towed across the beach by a large tractor. Dogs are welcome on this beach, except between the 1st of July and the 31st of August, from 10 AM till 6 PM. But if you're here in season, you can always go to the so-called dog-friendly beaches full of rocks. Sometimes on the dog-friendly part you find a stone balancer on that part, so you've got to dodge around his balanced stones as well sometimes. So that's another thing to beware. So the next one we go to is Bamaluz Beach, which is behind that corner. These are little self-drive boats, which are quite good fun, just to potter around in the harbour. You can't go too far out, but it's okay. It's almost like summertime with all the people out in St Ives. I mean, it is popular anyway, all year round. Yes, onward. At least I've got my waterproof boots on. It's a bit sploshy. Seagull chorus. All saying, give us your chips, give us your chips. I think the house on the right is the oldest house, one of the oldest houses in St Ives. But they're all holiday rentals, all three of those, along with most others. That's a nice house with the trees on the garden. Yeah, you tell them. These are nice steep steps. Wheel Dream, it says. Of what? Genie with the light brown hair. And why people have to walk 3 abreast. There's the Invisible Man. So, down we go. This is the next one. This is the main dog-friendly beach of Bamaluz. I don't know where they get their strange names from. Should we go down? Right. These steps are a bit uneven. Bamaluz Beach sits directly below St Ives Museum, and along with Lambeth Walk Beach is a dog-friendly one. Unfortunately, again, it means you have to climb over a few rocks to get to the sand. Once here, it's usually quieter than other St Ives beaches because it's tucked away behind some high walls. It means you're sheltered from the wind, but it can also sometimes mean you're shaded from the sun. The nearest toilets are the ones we passed back there on the pier. And when the tide's out, this is a nice beach to bring your dog, even in July and August. Of course, it could get very busy then. You'll be turning your dog off every 2 seconds because he's jumping all over people's picnics. Or is that just ours? There's somebody on his board. There's 1 or 2 trying to surf. Oh, here comes the sea. Don't think the waves are high enough for them really, but they're giving it a go. Back up the steep steps. And here's beach number 4. Porthgwidden Beach. Porthgwidden is the smallest and best sheltered beach in St Ives, nestled between the island, which is over there, so called, and the harbour. When the tide's in, it's perfect for snorkelling, whilst the bay's rock pools are loved by younger beachgoers at low tide. Energetic people running out the sea. There are 2 stories of beach huts to hire to store your stuff in while you're tucked into your pasty or your ice cream. And the island car park is just above it, as you can see, just behind the beach. But in season it's filled up pretty early every day. There's no coast guards because, like the harbour, it's considered a fairly safe beach to potter about on. If not, there's St Ives National Coast Watch Station on the top there, manned by volunteers all year round. So if your airbed's floating off out to sea with you on it, you'd hope that they might see you before a fisherman picks you up. Again, dogs are welcome except for July and August between 10 and 6. We're lucky that in Cornwall the total seasonal dog ban was for now lifted by Cornwall Council after a campaign lasting years by a lovely lady called Dawn, who argued that many of St Ives holidaymakers have dogs, and without beaches for them to run on, they may stay away. However, if the rules are flaunted, the ban may return. If you want to thank Dawn or just support her, look for her Dog on Shame page on Facebook, and I'll link her page below. If you're on the beach and you fancy a bite to eat, there's a takeaway or a cafe bar that gets quite busy and buzzing in the summertime. But it's a good view from up there onto the beach. Watch the sun go down. There's lots of benches around for people to sit on to enjoy their grub. Just go up the steep slope. This will bring us to the car park at the top. So we've just walked up from Porthgwidden Beach and we're now gone through the car park and we're on the island. Yeah, the island as it's known is not really an island at all because it's still connected to the mainland. In Cornish it's known as Pendinas, which means fortified headland, which it once was, with a ditch and ramparts. Now making our way up to St Nicholas's Chapel, which is at the top of the island. Get up on the steps a moment. The island's now mostly used by walkers, and it's got a great view of St Ives and further afield. If we look over from Godrevy in the distance, you can see the lighthouse. So we've got Godrevy and 3 miles of Hale beaches, Porthkidney over on the right, and then we can see Porthminster, and well, Carbis Bay is the first one on the right, and then Porthminster, and of course the others are hidden by the town. But then if we go over this side, we're now on Porthmeor, the other side of the island, which is the 5th main beach for St Ives. St Nicholas Chapel was, it sits on the top here, dates back to the 15th century, or possibly earlier. It may have been used by locals to worship before the main church was built in 1434. Or it could just have been a place for fishermen's wives to pray for their safe return. Either way, it's got some incredible views. tide is just about on the turn at the moment. So, surprised not to see any surfers on this one. Thought there'd be one or two. Unfortunately looking into the sun at the moment, so can't see so much of the town as I'd like to. But there we are, never mind. Porthmeor Beach. I would guess it's almost the same size as Porthminster, but it seems to have better waves for surfing or even just paddleboarding. There's numerous rock pools to explore for litlands, and it's a great beach to just kick your shoes off and relax. In keeping with all Ives beaches, it has soft yellow sand, so it's great for just catching the sun or building sandcastles. Behind Porthmeor Beach and overlooking the Atlantic is St Ives, which you can maybe just see, which shows regular exhibitions of British and international contemporary art. Jago's decided to have a little swim. He's just dunked himself down into a pool left on the beach. There's a good view of the island from here. In 1904 the War Office started to tear the chapel down, but there was a public outcry. In 1911 Sir Edward Hayne, who was a St Ives ship owner, stepped in and restored the chapel to commemorate the coronation of King George V. The chapel was restored again in 1971, which is when it gained some floor tiles by Bernard Leach. Occasionally people will go and have a wedding up there. It's an unusual venue, and why not? These are great apartments. If you stay in Barneloft or Piazza beachfront apartments, you're treated to amazing views over the sea from your bed. Make our way across the beach. This is one of the bigger ones. Oh, I see the RNLI's out as well. Because it's a voluntary organisation, if they decide that they might be busy on a weekend, that's when they come down and help out. Jago, come here. Oh, sun's out again. That's a different way of running down the beach. If we're on to the beach cafe and restaurant, it seems the Tate's having some work done because they've got scaffolding up behind. That's the Tate Museum. The beach restaurant and bar are extremely busy here in summertime. You can see you can rent surfboards underneath. And it's busy right up until dusk because people like to stay here and have a beer and look out across the beach, because they get some great sunsets here, and so why not? I hope you enjoyed our poddle around Five Beaches in St Ives. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like by hitting that thumbs up button, and if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, but it helps us build the channel. We are based in Cornwall, so we'll be putting out more Cornwall videos as time goes on. If you're a subscriber, you'll get to see more of them. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.